I joined the panel because I'm new to the community and wanted to take part in community life, and because I thought it was an opportunity to make some changes or shape the way the community goes forward for the next 20 years. I mean, that's a very rare thing, a privilege.
I joined the panel because I'm very, very keen to be a part of the Moyne future analysis, and I am very passionate about the environment, and I'm very concerned about climate change, and I'm very concerned about the voice of Indigenous First Nations people, and I'm also very concerned about the gender inequality in the authority that is council.
I thought it was an opportunity to take part in community action, to hear what people had to say and what the community really needed. But I also had some ideas of my own about issues that I thought council really ought to take action on. For instance, in 2019, council voted that we are in a climate emergency. So there's a lot of stuff that wouldn't cost council a thing, it wouldn't cost anybody a thing, and we could actually save many tonnes of greenhouse gases, and I've got lots of proposals about that.
I think I've got a deep interest in where Moyne will be in 20 years' time, and we all live somewhere. I live in Moyne, and I will live here for the next 20 years. So it's very close, it's very personal, and it's exciting to be part of a process that looks that far into the future and maybe has a tiny bit of influence in where we end up.
So I've moved to Moyne about 1.5 years ago, and since moving here, I've really fell in love with the community, and I see so much potential for Moyne, and I just wanted to be part of bringing about positive change and getting all community views across. See a lot of exciting potential, but I also see a lot of barriers to change. So I want to be part of the solution and part of bringing everyone together.
As a young person who's been involved in youth council over the past 5 years, I've been increasingly involved with advocating for the voices of young people across our region. And so in joining this panel, I hope to raise awareness about the unique perspectives and challenges faced by young people across Moyne, and sort of bring their perspectives to light so that council can sort of realise these issues and act upon them. And not only that, but I've also been involved in several other panels in the past, such as our youth strategy in 2019 and the community engagement panel in 2020. So I hope to also bring my expertise of those panels and what I've learned from there to sort of encourage discussion, encourage deliberation in this panel.
I joined the panel because I am interested in my local community. I'm interested in the way our local community is funded by the state government and the interaction between the state government and local communities. I am really interested in the decision the council makes in relation to development and in relation to climate change, or not decisions in relation to climate change and environment. And I would like to be involved, and I think it's amazing that we have been given the opportunity to be involved in trying to create some plans for the Shire.
Peterborough had a greater representation, and especially people along the coast in our little nook. We're a part of, I guess, 2 shires, and people along the coast from Peterborough, Port Campbell, Princetown don't feel as if we're being represented by our current shires anyway. The coast in some ways is considered this place where people spend their money. It's a great place for revenue, but it's also the people who have to live with that development. I want to see the environment preserved and improved. People come here because it's beautiful. And if we don't keep it beautiful, then we're defeating ourselves. It's about the people who live here that want to see the place be cared for. You know, we want the fresh air to stay. We want the beautiful beaches. We want the right kind of development. We're not anti-development. We just don't want development for development's sake.
I live in Karamat, and it's a forgotten town. I feel there needs to be a more inclusive structure for the entire community. I mean, there's all the talk about Port Fairy and Koroit, and they're beautiful places. And, you know, I realise that they draw the tourists, but the smaller communities need to be included somehow. We've got a little bit of an ageing population here, and one thing that I've noticed, there have been a couple of older people, and I've seen they've reached the age where they can no longer drive, and they're literally stranded. They're stranded, and it's heartbreaking to see.
It was interesting to get a snapshot, because it was 40 odd people and lots of different perspectives, like lots of different things coming to the fore, which seemed to come from all over the place. Yeah, so it was very diverse.
I found it interesting that there was a couple of young people involved in the panel who'd been chosen. I thought that was fantastic. I found it interesting that there was a lot of knowledge that people were unaware of around council responsibility, and I think this is a huge problem, and I was pleased that that came to the surface, and hopefully it can be addressed.
It was interesting actually getting the mayor to talk to us. He's obviously, you know, deeply rooted in Moyne, you know, talks a lot about the footy club and so on, but that's literally the first time I've ever seen Daniel talk in public, and I've got a better measure of the guy now.
I guess what I learned, what I found interesting, I guess, is the diversity of the panel, and it was really nice to meet such a broad range of different people from Moyne, and you did feel sort of that community spirit in the discussion. So it was really lovely to hear different voices, and really looking forward to working further with the group.